Matthew, Steve, and myself. All right, so you mentioned about 99.
Yeah.
I saw something on, because I'm still able to look at the Book of Face. I'm not able to go live for another
You're
9
still on
days.
probation?
I'm on probation, yeah, for another, I think, 8 or 9 days. I can go on and I can post.
Do they put a ankle monitor on you or anything?
Yeah, I think so.
Keep track of you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You know what you should do?
Yeah, go to Twitter.
What a lot of the kids do these days. Make a Finsta, fake Instagram, or make
Yeah.
a fake Facebook, like a supplement page, so whenever you do get banned, you have another
backup page.
place, a backup page.
Backup, okay.
Backup.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it backup page.
There you go.
All right, so you mentioned about SAP, and you and I have talked about this, but I saw something. I know this is going to ruffle Caleb a little bit, so it's perfect. Somebody put on the Book of Face, no disrespect to Kobe, but they think LeBron is the best Laker of all time. If he's the best player ever, how could he not be the best Laker ever?
He's not the best player ever. to
Yeah.
me.
Well, but
Right.
the argument, he's in the
Yeah,
argument.
I say he's number 3. I say it goes Michael, Kobe, then LeBron.
Okay, see, then we can't.
I like that. I
Well,
like that.
and then that nullifies this, because if you list Kobe ahead of LeBron,
Yeah.
then that's a moot point. Let's just say that,
For sake of argument, LeBron's out of Kobe.
right,
Number 4 is Dan Marley.
it's kind of like we've argued this. He says, this donkey says that Tom Brady is the greatest Buccaneer of all time.
I think that's disrespectful to the people that spent their careers here.
Well, and that's why when you brought up 99, and it's the same kind of thing, LeBron and Kobe.
Like, okay,
and-
so let's say Patrick Mahomes wins 6 Super Bowls, then goes to New England and plays there for a year or two. Then they'd be like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is the best pitcher of all time? It's foolish-
possibly.
It's foolish to say.
Have you seen Mahomes play?
No, listen,
He may be the best Patriot now.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be the greatest of all time when it's all said and done. I will put a lot of money on that. But if he plays 20 years in Kansas City, wins a bunch of Super Bowls,
Right.
and then goes to the Patriots for 2 years and wins Super Bowl, I'm not going to say he's a better pitcher than Tom Brady. Tom Brady brought them
Of course.
6 rings. Like, it's just, to me, it's I think it's clickbaity. I think the person wanted some attention.
Okay, I
know?
did. So what?
Yeah.
wrong with that?
Why are you calling Matt out?
Yeah, like, that's fine.
Well, and that was my thought as well. I have LeBron in that conversation as the greatest of all time, but I don't think he's the greatest Laker.
No, not even close.
Now, somebody else posted, if you're going to call Tom Brady the GOAT, who changed teams, how can you not call LeBron? And my thing was, LeBron changed teams 4 times. Tom Brady did it once. He's been on 2 teams compared to 4 teams.
So he's probably going to be on his 3rd next year, I think.
Oh.
I think he's going to go to San Fran, my personal opinion. But
Can we get Jimmy G? I hate when I say that.
We,
Sorry.
yeah.
I hate. I've always hated that. Can the Bucks get Jimmy G then?
I mean, he's going to be a free agent. That's up to him.
And he is gonna.
That's up to him.
A guy that gambled on himself.
Yeah, that's up to him. But I lost my train of thought for a second.
About Brady.
Yeah,
going
so
to San
I
Fran.
don't fault LeBron for moving teams. I used to, because again, I'm a big Kobe guy, right? But like we live in this age where guys move now. Like the flexibility is encouraged. Like
Sure.
go somewhere else where. Because before it used to be like, oh, you're chasing rings. Now it's like, no, like I kind of enjoy it.
But he did though. That's why he left.
Yeah, that's
he,
what he was
he
why he
left to
left.
chase rings.
Yeah, so did Tom.
There's nothing. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so like again, like I said, like I'd rather great players win championships than you sit in the same city who's not putting enough around you and then just be like the greatest player that never won this, right?
Like Gerald McCoy. They didn't put anybody around Gerald McCoy.
They didn't.
And he.
It's true. It just
and-
got
and-
stung a little bit.
and
I was there with him.
Oh wow!
But if you remember, obviously before your time, when Karl Malone left
Yeah.
and went out west, it was always chasing rings. Yeah, he's chasing a ring because he's
Yeah.
not winning it where he's at.
Yeah, and it's different.
Barkley.
Especially when you get Barkley, when you get to that echelon of, you're one like James Harden. That's one of his things. Like he's probably I put James Harden maybe the 3rd best shooting guard ever. I'd say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, James Harden.
Reggie Miller,
But Reggie Miller didn't have the game, James.
Dan
Harden.
Marley.
I'm going to
No,
send
he's not
I'm going to
the
send a
game
shirt
does.
to James Harden.
Yeah.
So I saw one, and I'm having Tony make it for me. This is for me. But since you mentioned James Harden, I think he would like this shirt as well.
Yeah.
It says "People, not a fan, not a big fan."
Yeah.
So I'm going to send it to him.
His would say strippers, big fan.
He's probably making more money being the executive producer of Little Baby's album than he was making
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
basketball.
but it's one of those things where people look down on you so much. Like Dan Marino will never be considered, even though he was ahead of his time as far as passing.
True.
He's never going to be considered in these top quarterback discussions because he has no rings. And so it's like if you can go get that ring to cement your legacy, because people aren't going to remember in 20 years that you jumped teams.
Right.
They're going to remember that you didn't win a ring.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think I kind of understand it more now, but I hated it at first. But now I've kind of come around to the idea.
I think where people hate it is that he's changed teams so many times.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to go, you want, I mean, it's the same with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't like it here, he went there. He didn't like it there, he went somewhere else. Now, granted, that's only 3 teams.
Yeah.
But, just the whole thing about, LeBron going, this is his 4th team.
Yeah, and he's probably going to end
4th organization.
He's probably going to be at the 5th one, whenever his sons come
Sure.
out, because I know he wants to play with them. And, man, like I said, like people forget that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar moved teams also.
Right.
There's a lot of, so your favorite players switch teams. Dr. J moved teams, and, Wilt Chamberlain played on a couple teams.
Well, Dr. J changed organizations.
The ABA to the ABA.
Right,
Yeah,
so I'm
fair
saying.
enough.
Did I shock you that I knew that?
No.
But does it matter if these guys are the talented ones are just demanding where they go versus like a guy like EJ, Jackson, who has a no-hitter, played for 15 different major league teams? Like, does it matter the circumstances of like whether the player initiates the trade or whether they were traded because of it's just the industry of what it is?
Okay, so that's a great point. I think
It's really not. He's being nice to you. It's really not. Because
Tom Brady's still a scapegoat.
Okay, so look. I think one of the reasons why players are so amped to say, "Hey, I want to trade. I want out of this situation and speak up," is because for years, teams. I know guys who found out they were traded on TV.
Yeah.
They didn't even get a call or a text from the organization. They found out on TV that they were traded. Then they had to call their agent and figure it out. So,
Well, that just happened in the UFC. Like Curtis Blades is the backup for the John Jones fight if it's scheduled, and he went on Twitter and goes, "I don't know if this is true or not, but I'll be ready." Social media has a way of
which I wanted to talk to you about.
yeah. So okay, yeah, we will. And so like organizations make choices without thinking about the player all
Sure.
the time. And so now we're in a situation where players can say, "Hey, I don't like this. I want to be gone." And I think the NBA is the forefront of that. The NFL is trying to kind of get to that with players kind of, but I think
Like possibly quarterbacks in New York
exactly
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
that play in New Jersey.
Or a guy named John Elway, the
So-
donkey from Denver.
So like I think the difference between the NBA and the NFL is the NBA, the players are the face, right? You market your superstars. In the NFL, it's the team and the shield. So it's a little bit harder to move as much.
Well,
because the fans are coming to see Kevin Durant. They're coming to see LeBron James.
Right.
They're not just coming to watch the Lakers, right? But they're coming to watch the Patriots. Tom left, they're still going to come watch the
Is that
Patriots.
because-
I've loved the Patriots for 20 years.
Is that because you guys wear helmets and you really don't have
100%.
like a face like to
100%.
identify with it's just a name and a
Yes,
number?
and it's the shield, and it's the NFL. But I think the bigger quarterbacks get, the bigger stars they become, I think that will change a little bit, but it's never going to be what the NBA is. No, I don't think so. And
I
I
agree
think
with
the NFL is more profitable than the NBA.
Right.
So whatever they're doing it right, and I think they're not going to stray away from that. But I think the NBA has their way to market it. It's less guys on the team. It's about our 1 or 2 stars.
I agree with you, but I do think that people do go to NFL games to see certain people. They're going to a Kansas City game to see Mahomes.
Definitely. I watch, if I don't watch any NFL game, when he's playing,
Me
that
too.
TV is on.
Me too.
I have to watch it because he's going to do something spectacular.
I normally don't watch a whole lot, but,
Yeah.
but you're right. And somebody made this comment, how is he not winning MVPs? And it's because everybody expects him to do what he's doing.
His first year starting, he threw 55 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. So now they're like, if he
Right.
does, he's having a down year. He's like, dude, I threw for 40 touchdowns and 4,800 yards. How did I win to the ISH championship? How's it a down year? I think it's one of those things where he's suffering from his greatness.
Right.
Like, he's so great that whenever he does something spectacular, because they were talking about Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts' best game this year, he had 4 touchdown passes and 300 yards. And they were like, he's the MVP front runner.
That's a normal Sunday.
Mahomes has done that 5 times this
Right,
season.
it's a normal Sunday. Right.
And when everybody's just like, oh, well, it's just Mahomes. It was like, don't cripple him because he's great. Appreciate it and enjoy
Well,
it.
and that's been the argument with MVPs all the time. Aaron Judge just now, won MVP, and everybody's like, well, look at the team around him. No, look at what he's done.
Yeah.
he would have done those same things. He would have hit the same amount of home runs.
Yeah, it's an individual sport.
I don't even understand the baseball. Look at the team around him. They're pitching to me, and I'm smacking it out of the park. What like?
Nobody's helping me.
Yeah, it's not my teammate pitching to me. They don't want me to hit it. What are you talking about? Yeah, that made no sense.
It's an individual sport.
Which is typical. I was very happy at who won the Cy Young. I don't know. Do you know the whole story about the Cy Young? We'll say that Verlander.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that Verlander got screwed out of winning the Cy Young a couple years ago?
Because of the cheating
So it's a
scandal.
makeup call.
No.
Favoritism.
Well, no, he deserved it.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's deserved it numerous times, and I know this guy, so hopefully he's not going to be totally pissed. But when you vote for Cy Young, it's like first, second, third, fourth. I don't know how far down. This media person didn't put Verlander in the top whatever. He didn't get a point.
Wow.
If he would have been listed fourth, he should have won the Cy Young that year. If he would have taken fourth on his ballot,
Yeah.
he would have won the Cy Young.
They should take his credentials.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to see him winning because he's been dominant. Changed teams,
Yeah.
but he has been dominant.
I think we have to. If there's something I'd like to see, the people who vote for MVPs, I want to know who has votes.
Absolutely.
In all the leagues.
Accountability.
I want you to put your list out so everybody can scrutinize you the same way the players get scrutinized, the same way you
Absolutely.
scrutinize players.
And
everything should be out in the open.
And credentialed as far as what they've done in athletic field of play.
Yeah, well,
And-
no.
you got to have some understanding of mechanics
I don't know.
of the sport. You got to have some basis of why you're voting against somebody.
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
Fair is fair.
But you don't need
I want to know what you're getting paid because my pay is public
I hate that.
knowledge.
We've talked about that
I
before.
hate it, but if
hate
we're
it.
gonna put it out there, hey, everybody put their chips.
A media
on the
person
table.
doesn't have to have played Major League Baseball or Little League Baseball or anything to be able to watch stats.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not.
Right.
I don't
Well,
think you have to play.
Knucklehead is saying.
Yeah, they
No,
gotta
not play.
They got
but
to skin in the game. They got
for you to have an MVP vote, how long have you covered the sport?
Right.
What teams did you work
Right.
for? Yeah, I don't think you should have to play.
No, you got to have scars. You got to have scars.
No, I
run
don't
burn.
disagree.
You got to have
You still think
strawberries.
he's good? You still think we should keep him around?
he had two good moments today.
What was the second?
Then he brought
The food thing. That
food
was the
thing.
one. What's the second one?
And the selling my license plate for half a million.
No, that was
wasn't-
stupid.
that wasn't-
Right. So he's had one good
thing. One good
All right,
thing.
one good thing. But I met my quota, and see, I'm like Mahomes. If I do more than that, you guys will see it as mediocre. You see it as, it's just an average day.
No, you get
Well,
one.
spectacular all the time, Randy. Here,
You get one good a month, and that's normal. We need you to step up.
I'm ahead of schedule. I'm
the
already,
month's
I'm already,
over.
I'm in
Yeah, the month
2020.
is over.
I'm already in 2023.
The month is almost
23rd.
over. You had your one attaboy. Since you've been going fishing and fishing captain over there just walked in. Did you see?
There he is.
Did you see the goldfish?
No,
You didn't see the goldfish?
I did not see the goldfish.
67-pound goldfish.
Really?
Goldfish.
I heard they're awful eating though.
Well, normally you get them in a bag at Publix.
There's all kinds of sizes and types, but people, like in Asia and stuff, they eat them. Just a lot of bones. I heard it's not very good.
Well,
But
people-
67 pounds. I see this picture.
Yeah, 67 pounds. You might be able to get a little bit of meat or something there. It's always bothered me, and I know we only have a couple minutes, so it's perfect timing. That people, and you and I have talked about this. Oh, I would never eat,
Yeah, no, I don't.
whatever that may be. Again, goes back to Qatar and their policies. Just because we don't live there,
Yeah.
people in some countries eat dog,
Yeah.
eat cat, eat frog.
Yeah.
Eat
Well, you see
lizard.
that. You see that billboard. It's like, where do you draw the line? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like cow, chicken, fish, and then like a line that says horse. It's like, where do you stop?
Like I see these videos all the time of people, Americans would go to, China, Japan. It's like, we're gonna rescue the dogs from the dog farm and like stop harm. I'm just like, dude, like they think cows are sacred.
Right,
So you're mass murdering cows that they love and they find
Yeah,
sacred. So then
Buddhist.
what makes you right? So it's like, hey, like again, when there's injustices going on, when there's blatant things that are wrong, that's one thing. But I think we just all should respect each other, respect our cultures, and I think we'd be better off.
I agree.
Yeah.
I killed a whole bag of croutons earlier.
Because I kind of, I saw, I watched this, I'm not going to plug the show, but I watched this
Save the
food review
crouton.
show, and this guy travels all over the world, Indonesia and all these places, and Eastern street food. And he's eating horse, jellyfish, like all types of things. And it's like, some of it's good, some of it he's like, I don't really know about that. But he's like immersing himself in the culture with these people and learning about them and telling their story. People eat camel and, like.
I might have a
it's
hard
awesome.
time. What is it? Cow. basketballs.
Oh, the testicles. Yeah,
Rocky
testicles would be
Mountain
tough for me.
Oysters.
Yeah, it might be tough.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Rocky
Rocky
Mountain
Mountain
oysters.
oysters.
Yeah, it might be tough.
That'll be tough.
I've always said I'll eat anything, and if you're hungry enough, we were almost broke down on Alligator Alley.
Yeah.
I planned on eating his arm. If I'm hungry, I'm eating, right?
I just told him you would get ink poisoning if you ate this one. You think mercury in tuna is bad?
You got to go for
Eat
the
it.
hamstrings.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, hamstrings and the IT bands and the glutes.
Hey,
A lot of meat on the glutes.
if I'm starving, I'm eating. I have no problems, doing that. So, all right, 1 hour down. When we come back, we're going to talk UFC.
Yep.
UFC coming to Orlando next week. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the rumored March Jones versus Francis. BKFC last week. BKFC down in Miami. A couple title fights. The relinquish of what's the belt called?
I don't know. The Police Gazette.
Yeah, the Police
Gold
Gazette belt.
Diamond.
One was stripped, one was relinquished. We'll talk about that. A whole lot of stuff to go. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Coming to you live from Tournament to Pizza. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Song. We'll be right back.